tip-tapping toes. Tessa had swinging arms, skipping feet, and tip-tapping toes. She was built to dance. Most mice scurried along floorboards and ledges, trying hard not to be seen. Not Tessa. She boogied, she bopped, she shimmied, she hopped. She flounced, she bounced, and she never scurried. "Tessa," said her mom. "Stop twirling so," her mother would scold. Tessa would try hard to stop with every ounce of her bebopping, hip-hopping heart, but when her toes weren't tip-tapping, they felt all wrong. At night, Tessa and her family raided Mrs. Timboni's kitchen, hunting for crumbs. But instead of hurrying and scurrying, Tessa juggled jelly beans and sashayed with salt shakers. She loved to tap dance across the teapot, wearing her bottle-cap slippers. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, Tessa danced. One day, Mrs. Timboni got a cat. His name was Oscar. His head was filled with songs. Most cats like dozing on windowsills or curling up on fresh piles of laundry. But not Oscar. He crooned on kitchen counters. He sang on the sinks. He trilled in the dining room. "Oscar, stop all that racket," cried Mrs. Timboni. "What will the neighbors think?" Oscar tried stopping with every ounce of his sing-songy humdinger of a heart. But when his tongue wasn't trilling, he felt all wrong. As soon as Tessa's mother heard Oscar's crooning, she worried that the new cat would catch her daughter dancing. "You must be more careful," she told Tessa. "No more bounding, no more leaping, no more spinning. From now on you will scamper and scurry like a proper mouse." So Tessa hurried and she scurried, she skittered and she scampered. She stayed low to the ground and didn't make a sound. But it was hard, so hard. When she heard Oscar's songs, Tessa bit her tail to keep from dancing. Within a week, the neighbors complained about Oscar. Mrs. Timboni worried that they would ask her to get rid of the chorus and kitty. "You must be more careful," she told Oscar. "No more singing, no more pruning or caterwauling. From now on you will nap and chase mice like a proper cat." So Oscar snapped until noon and dozed right through dinner. At night he chased the mice, scurrying, skittering into their holes. But it was hard, so hard. When he heard the skitter-scamper of little mice feet, Oscar bit his tongue to keep himself from singing. Then spring came. Dozens of daffodils danced in the yard, and green leaves rustled in the breeze. Tessa watched the daffodils sway. She longed to dance, but she remembered her mother's warning and kept still. Oscar listened to the leaves swish. He longed to sing, but he remembered Mrs. Timboni's warning and kept silent. Until one night, when Oscar was awakened by the ting, 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 ting of the rain on the roof. Oscar's tongue twitched, his throat throbbed, and his teeth chattered. His lips quivered, and before he knew it, a song sprang out of his mouth. "Do-wop-a-wop-wop, do-wop-a-wop-wop," he sang, "doodling, doodling, doodling." That same sliver of a song wove its way into Tessa's dreams. Her tail curved, her fingers snapped, and her head bebopped, and her toes tip-tapped. Without opening her eyes, she waltzed around to the dancing sounds. The rain poured down harder and harder. Oscar sang louder and louder. "Diddly, diddly, do, 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 diddly, do, wop, do, wop, do, wop." Tessa frolicked and frisked in time with the song. She danced around and around until she lost her balance and bumped into Oscar's food bowl with a clatter. Suddenly, Tessa woke up. Oscar stopped singing. He spun towards the noise. Cat and mouse stood staring at each other. All was quiet except for the rain on the roof. Ting, ting, ting. Only one thing came to Tessa's mind before Oscar could twitch a whistle. Tessa tip-tapped her toes to the rain. Oscar's mouth dropped open. Tessa wiggled her middle to the flap of the thunder. Oscar shook his head and blinked. Tessa burst out into an all-out rock and roll, boogie-woogie, hip-hop, two-step combo. Oscar watched, eyes wide. Finally, he cleared his throat and belted out a rowdy ride, his tune just right for dancing feet. Tessa moved to the groove. Up, down, round and round, jump, shout, kick it out. Swish, swoosh, shake it loose. She felt so good she couldn't stop if she tried. Tessa's mother crept carefully out of her hole. "Tessa, stop," she whispered. But Tessa couldn't hear her. She kept dancing to Oscar's song. Then Mrs. Timboni rushed down to the kitchen in her bathrobe. "Oscar!" Oscar, stop, she pleaded, but Oscar couldn't hear her. He kept singing, and Tessa kept dancing. Before long, Tessa's mother's tail twitched. She tapped her tiny toes. Then Mrs. Timboni's throat itched, and she hummed a little tune. Soon everyone was dancing and singing along with Oscar's song. Dood-lang, dood-bop, boodly bang. By the time the neighbors called to complain, no one could even hear the phone ring. They danced hippity-hop and they sang doodly-bop all night long. The end. Yay!